as of lately, I've been on this quest of discovering, all right, well, with model building, when did it start? When did, you know, what were the first kits? All this stuff, right? And then the magazines, I've done the magazine reads, the previews, and everything, and I've been going to the shows and all this stuff, but I'm like questioning myself, like, man, I don't even know when it started, and I'm doing this stuff and with my friends and everything, and that's cool, but I want to know more about it, and then I started buying magazines and stuff like that, and I started like noticing, wow, like all the way to the 60s and going back. So just recently I found like a magazine. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to buy it soon, but in that magazine it was like 1958, and it had a like a feature saying like that they added pages for model cars, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." So from 64 back to 62, 61, and now if I get my hands on this, and then depending what article it is or what it's about, then I'm gonna be like, okay, now we keep going backwards, and that's good. I want to see how back it goes, and obviously there's a big connection between that and slot cars, huge connection, and I feel like that connection that bridges it is the customization of the paint jobs on a slot car. There's a lot of articles in there talking about customize your slot car or how to build it or whatever, like modify it. And I'm like, and they call them models too. And I'm like, oh shoot, right? So over here on the side, you guys can see I have all these magazines right here. So I just got today alone, I got these 3 and these 2, like 5, total of 5. This first one, let's see here. Let me change the camera. It's a lot brighter on this side. This one's December 1961, and this at the time it was 25 cents. And this is a magazine called Custom Craft. And in the bottom corner, in big bold letters, it says bonus 16 pages for car modelers. Check it out. Right there. And that caught my attention. I was like, whoa, gotta get this. Got it. I already, I flipped through it. This issue, December of 1961, this is the first time Custom Craft premiered model cars in their magazine. And a lot of things were happening. Up here it says now 84 pages, big pages. And so far from what I'm gathering is there was a lot of competition within these magazines. There was a lot of magazines. So this is one of the magazines, one of the brands. So, model building was already in this time becoming very hot. It was hot and it was popular. And from what I'm getting is that a lot of these companies were like, oh, damn, they're featuring models. They're selling more. Now we got to do our thing, And they're later all... I'm going to do separate videos about all this stuff once I gather up my info. Right now, I'm just speculating, right? Allegedly, right? So this next one, this is January 1962, also 25 cents. This one's after that issue I just showed you. This one here, let's see how they... okay, so this one... They made it even smaller, and it says plus 16 jam-packed pages of custom models. They put it in the very bottom, right there at the bottom. You can see it right there, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, people who were customizing or whatever were buying these books. Maybe, they had their kids kicking in the shop, or they were like, here, like, be quiet, look at this book or whatever. But this is January 1962 again. 25 cents at the time. But in the very bottom, 16 jam pages of custom models, right? And then, okay, the next one. This one's February 1962. And this one, they just have it in yellow, plus big 16-page model car section. So each section is getting its 16 pages right there, right? I did look at the first one. The first one, it has some slot cars, but it does have model cars like built already. And then, okay, let's continue on because there's only two more. Then this next one is March, 62, 25 cents. But this one, they put it at the top corner, the 16-page model car section, right? And that's the cover, this red car right here. Cool stuff. This last one that I obtained, this is May of 62. So it jumped from March to May. I did research trying to find an April, and so far I didn't find an April. I almost feel like it probably went maybe every couple months or what, because from May there's no June, it goes to July. So this one also has in the bottom 16-page model car section. All right. So I feel like for this magazine, that was the last issue that featured model cars, because when I found July, there's no mention of model cars in the cover or even in the table of contents, and so forth. All the ones that came after, there's no mention anymore. So I feel like this magazine, this might be the complete 5 issues run that they did in the 60s, right? A lot of these kits are AMT. There's a lot of AMT stuff that's in these builds. This was the first one that I found. A lot of this is AMT stuff, model cars. This is by the editors of Rod and Custom and Carcraft. Those are also competitors to that magazine that I just mentioned. This one here. But this one came later. This is like, I think it's 64, 63. I just don't know what print, if this is like a first edition, second edition, or third. It might be a second. I'm not for sure, but I'm gonna try to find out on this one. This one has a lot of pages, custom stuff, like ton of pages, and it's a trip. The ones I have back here are also from back then. When I interviewed Wes, I showed him this one. This is Car Model magazine. So Car Model, from what I'm learning, is this was more like the magazine that was holding it down in the 70s right here. Also 60s, smaller issue, but then it became a bigger issue, like a full-size mag right here. That one there showcases winners from contests from across the U.S. This one here, this is the same company, but this is a custom annual that features the secrets to like channeling, chopping, sectioning, painting, styling, putting, and detailing. This is more like a tutorial, and it says volume 1. I looked, and there is no. I didn't find any volume 2 at all. I didn't find any volume 2. So this is one that I'm just like, yo, like, you know, I'm digging this. And you know, I got a couple more I've already mentioned in videos right there. But yeah, man, it's been cool. Just kind of looking through those books, through those mags, and there's still more that I have that I've already ordered, things that I've been buying and just kind of getting in. And once I have all this stuff and I've read through all of them, like once I read through all these, you know, I want to do like a dedicated video to it, and also you know, once I find certain articles, I want to share those articles with you guys and flip through pages. I know when I do the magazine previews, I'm flipping through the pages kind of fast, or I'm just like, oh, that's dope, that's cool, and this and that, right? Because I know it'd take forever looking through everything, right? So I'm going to try to slow things down with these books because they're timepieces, and it's also a lot of the model builders from that era, you know, they might not be with us anymore, you know, and out of respect, you know, I want to learn, you know, what was going on at that time, you know, and everything, and, you know, shout them out and stuff like that. Cause, and some of them, it does say like how, you know, that they're, you know, 15, 18, 11, like different, you know, age groups, and their models are dope. I'm like, wow, they were already doing that back then, you know? So it's just something to share, you know, from what I learned, you know, tell the story and go from there, and see what else I uncover, you know. But at the same time, I know those magazines are going to provide a lot of info, a lot of influence into the direction of the cars I'm working on, especially the custom cars. We're going to see where those go moving forward. And you know, we'll see what's up from right there. But